midway through the round. I mean, just great body shot.
Out we go. Before you even throw the punches, your stance must be right as far as your pivot. Start off with your pivot, get on your pivot, and it's light. The jab goes like this. This is exactly how the jab go. Jab.
Counterpunching. But overall, I have to say Crawford. If you go down the list and ask me about tactical advantages, most of them are Crawford.
Floyd Mayweather recently stopped by Terence Crawford's training camp and shared some key advice on beating Canelo Alvarez. Drawing from his own 2013 win over Canelo, Mayweather told Crawford to rely on speed, tight defense, and accurate counterpunches to take advantage of Canelo's flaws. With Mayweather's tips and experience in his corner, Crawford might gain a crucial edge as he gears up for one of the biggest fights of his career.
You bring the hook with it. You can go to the body. Jab. Just double jab. Triple jab.
At a recent press conference, Canelo Alvarez took a direct shot at Terence Crawford's career, saying he doesn't believe Crawford has faced any top-tier opponents yet. Confident in his own skills and experience, Canelo made it clear that he sees himself as operating on a different level, one Crawford has never dealt with before. But his comments weren't just about pride, they also seemed aimed at getting inside Crawford's head, adding mental pressure before the fight. Canelo's words highlight his belief in his status as one of boxing's elite and his intent to show the clear gap between himself and his challenger.
The last fighters that you fought, they ain't on my level. And
I fought everybody.
The last fighters you fought since 2002.
Mention me one. You mention me one elite fighter. Just one.
You.
Oh, me.
Look,
it's gonna be me.
I don't
and
care about nobody else.
And you will see that.
You. So when I beat you, is you gonna be a nobody? When I stump a mud hole in your ass, is you gonna be a nobody? Same everybody else been saying since I moved to 147, I ain't fought nobody. Every last one of them stump a mud hole in their ass and he gonna be next. Watch.
Live, only on DAZN, June 28th. Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. Buy now at DAZN.com/boxing.
Max Kellerman offered a pointed breakdown of the matchup, praising Terence Crawford's jab as one of the best in boxing today. He pointed out that while Canelo once had a strong jab too, it's not as sharp as it used to be, giving Crawford a clear advantage in speed and accuracy. Kellerman also stressed that Crawford's fight IQ could pose serious challenges for Canelo, who leans more on his size and power. His analysis suggests that in this fight, smart strategy and refined skills might matter more than physical strength.
Best jab.
Crawford.
Best defense.
Crawford. Nowadays, Crawford. I would say early in the fight, Canelo. And earlier in his career, Canelo. But he hasn't been that kind of fighter in recent years. Although Crawford is also hittable. With any fighter, when you talk about their defense, the question is not, can they be hit with a shot? You take punches. Everyone, the greatest defensive fighters ever get hit. Pernell Whitaker, Willie Pep, Floyd Mayweather, they all get hit. The question is, can you hit them with combinations? And both guys are hard to hit. With the two-piece, hard to hit.
So who has the best footwork out of the two?
In terms of cutting off the ring, last fight notwithstanding, Canelo has gotten much better at cutting off the ring. But, early in his career, he had a problem with that and was much more comfortable counterpunching. But overall, I have to say Crawford. If you go down the list and ask me about tactical advantages, most of them are Crawford. What Canelo has is size. Size and, as a result, physical strength and punching power. Canelo also has a great chin. A great chin. But in terms of, if you want to go skill for skill, especially the recent version of Canelo, who's had to turn into a seek and destroy guy, who had to learn as his career went on to cut off the ring and not just follow guys around. Like Lara, Trout, Floyd, he followed those guys around. He had trouble because he's really a natural counterpuncher who wants you to come to him.
Nico Ali Walsh, grandson of Muhammad Ali, has publicly backed Terence Crawford. He praised Crawford's strong character, discipline, and impressive skills in the ring, calling him a fighter who truly deserves recognition among the sports greats. For Nico, it's not just about Crawford's record, it's about the respect he's earned through hard work and dedication. His support shows how Crawford's impact reaches beyond wins and titles, gaining admiration from those tied to boxing's most legendary names.
People with Canelo before Canelo's last fight, but then after Canelo's last fight, it seems like it's more 50-50 now. So everything is just the build up for that fight is just going to be absolutely magnetizing. Like that fight, it's garnered so much more buzz after Canelo's last fight, and Bud is Bud. He's one of the greatest fighters in boxing history. He is one of the greatest fighters in boxing history. So it's going to be a fight. It's going to be awesome to watch.
Have you sparred any of them?
I haven't sparred Bud yet. I haven't been in Canelo's camp. I've met Canelo a few times. I love Canelo's team. Canelo's one of my favorite fighters. He's been my favorite fighter for the longest time. But you know, I have to be Team Bud because me and Bud are cool, and I have so much belief in Bud, and I know who he is as a fighter. He is one of the greats. So he could do anything you know, he wants.
And being around both of them and seeing how they work and train and things like that, what makes both of them the fighters they are, in your opinion?
I've watched Bud, so for Bud in particular, he's calm in everything he does, and that kind of calm is scary to watch because it shows experience. You can see that he's been doing this for decades.
Canelo Alvarez spoke respectfully about Terence Crawford's skills, showing professionalism ahead of their fight. He mentioned that at the elite level, weight differences matter less because top fighters know how to adjust. Canelo made it clear he's training with full intensity, knowing that beating Crawford will take more than just size or strength. His remarks reflect both respect for Crawford and a clear understanding that this fight will demand his best form and smartest tactics.
Smaller guy, and why do I need to fight this guy? For you, what changed? Tell me about the moment where you're like, you know what? Maybe I'll do this. This sounds like a good idea.
No, if you're thinking about it, look how big turns this fight. It's a big fight. No, that's why made me change. But you know, I've been in key situation before, jumping weight classes, and when you're a good fighter, that doesn't matter. So I'm not gonna focus on that. I'm gonna focus on training very hard because Crawford is very good fighter.
Yeah, tell me about your experience with that, because now it's reversed. He's coming up in weight. What could be dangerous? What aren't we seeing that maybe you see in this fight?
No, everything. He's a good fighter. Obviously, I know that, and I need to be careful. I need to be careful in everything.
Showbiz the Adult offered a well-rounded take on the upcoming fight. He credited Canelo for his physical strength and tough training routine, noting how these qualities have helped him stay dominant in the ring. At the same time, he acknowledged Crawford's sharp fight sense and his wrestling background, which gives him an edge in reading opponents and defending against tricky moves. Still, Showbiz believes Canelo holds a slight advantage, thanks to his greater experience and natural size.
And Canelo uses his legs, he uses his core, and then his neck itself to lift up Bivol like Bivol was a featherweight. That is a huge representation of how strong Canelo is. When you look at his workouts, you can tell why he was able to do that. All these damn neck exercises that I wouldn't dare do. Okay, that stuff looks painful. The squatting and all that stuff that he's doing is exactly why Canelo Alvarez, honestly, is a strong fighter. He tried to do it again with William Skull. William Skull shook out of it, but he is a bull. Listen, Terence Bud Crawford is strong. He is, okay? And he understands leverage and he understands those things because he wrestled. Honestly, very true. But Saul Canelo Alvarez is also extremely strong. Now, let me know how you feel in the comments below. We're in the zone, war room.
Jarrell Miller shared his personal take on the upcoming fight, saying he's rooting for Terence Crawford. He highlighted Crawford's hunger and determination, believing those traits could carry him to victory even if he's giving up size. Miller brushed off concerns about the weight difference, emphasizing that when a fighter has real drive and focus, they can push past physical disadvantages. His perspective underscores the idea that heart and willpower can be just as powerful as size in a high-stakes bout.
Crawford, huge fight September 13th. Who do you think's going to win that?
I'm pulling for Crawford in this one. I think people are underestimating his strength right now and his size. And I think he's a little more hungry than Canelo. So let's see though. But I like both guys, but I'm a little closer to Crawford, so I want to see Crawford can take it.
Many analysts agree that strategy will be key for Terence Crawford in this fight. This isn't just another matchup, it's a career-defining moment. Defeating a champion like Canelo would silence critics and firmly cement Crawford's place in boxing history. To make that happen, he'll need to lean on his intelligence in the ring, avoid reckless moves, and stick to a plan based on precision, patience, and the ability to adjust as the fight unfolds.
Understands that he has to be smart. And I think with this one specifically, it ain't just about being smart. He knows he has to look like he's never looked before, because again, if he doesn't and he beats Canelo, everybody's just gonna say, well, that's Crawford. You know, so I think he knows that this is the performance of a lifetime and everything has to look right. He knows in order for it to look right, he can't just go out there and let the dog go. The dog is, you know, he got to work his way up to the dog. Hey, show the clip real quick. I don't know if you showed it already, but this is the dog you're talking about right here, right? And so this is, I pulled this clip right here. I seen it on social media this morning.
Don't do that. That's what I'm saying.
And I pulled this clip, right? But this is Terence.
That's who he is.
He's not gonna swing on Canelo. He already know that part of the game. But what I asked you, were you ever trying to send a message to your opponents? He's letting you know, and it's no act. And that's what I really wanted to show, is that's not an act.
No.
That's not, there's 30 security guards.
I don't know, it feels a little contrived.
You think so?
I think a lot of people feel it's a little like.
Well, I'm glad you used a big word that most of us don't know.
Hey, I don't fight as good as you guys. I had to learn some big words, right, to make up for that.
Don't look it up. Just ignore.
You need big words to get out of fights. You know, you need big words to get out of fights. But you know, okay. So case in point, our guy Hafey, sitting right there, producer extraordinaire. He had a picture of Terence Crawford in New York.
Crawford's ambition is undeniable. He's ready to take big risks, even going for a knockout against a larger, stronger opponent like Canelo. His past performances at 154 pounds show he can handle bigger fighters, giving weight to his confidence. Stepping up to 168 is a bold move, but based on his skills and previous success at higher weights, there's every reason to believe he won't be out of his element in this challenge.
Bud Crawford is taking his undefeated record, putting it on the line, daring to be great, to try and knock off Saul Canelo Alvarez from his throne and go and try to do something that no man has ever done, and that is to be a 3-division undisputed champion. That's a tall task. We know that Canelo Alvarez has fought fighters way bigger than Bud Crawford. It's actually one of the biggest talking points in this fight is the size. Canelo Alvarez has fought guys like Bivol. He's fought guys like Kovalev. He's fought guys like Billy Joe Saunders. He's fought really big fighters who are established at their weight classes all the way up to light heavyweight. And we know that Bud has come from a smaller weight class, being a champion all the way down at the 135-pound division into 140, 147. But as you can see in the tail of the tape, Bud is actually taller. Bud actually has a bigger reach. And quite frankly, he did most recently fight in the 154-pound division. And I don't think he will struggle to make weight to be at 168 and fight as a super middleweight. The question is, though, is bone structure. Who's going to carry that weight more effectively? We know that Canelo Alvarez has been in the weight longer, and as I mentioned, he's fought bigger guys. It's really something amazing for Bud if he's able to pull this off.
Edgar Berlanga shared a supportive view of Crawford's approach heading into the fight. He advised Crawford to stay true to the style and strategy that have made him successful, instead of trying to do too much to make up for the size gap. Berlanga pointed out that moving up 2 weight classes is already a major challenge, which evens the playing field in its own way. His remarks underline that, win or lose, Crawford is showing the courage to push his limits and compete at the sport's highest level.
First of all, he got to go in there and he just got to fight him. You know what I'm saying? He got to go in there. I think Crawford just got to go in there and do what he got to do. You know what I'm saying? He got to just be Crawford, you know, show his IQ, show him why he's a two-time undisputed, you know, world champion, and go in there with confidence. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. You know, there's a big weight difference, a big weight jump. You know, that could be a difference in the fight. You know, because obviously, you know, it's like me jumping up to heavyweight. Obviously, I'm a foot of power. I'm a foot of that size difference, you know, compared to my other fights. So I just think that he got to go in there and just be himself. And I said, if he loses, you know, we'll just all know that, hey, you know, he just jumped up 2 weight classes to be great. You know what I'm saying? It's not, he can't really, he's testing himself. He's testing himself a great fighter. So, and I don't doubt him, you know, I don't got no doubt in my mind. You know, he's a 2-time undisputed world champion for a reason. So, you know, and I don't think none's gonna phase him in that fight. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the power, maybe the size, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, Canelo, he's not knocking Canelo out. So, he just got to go in there, just IQ.
Would you lean towards Canelo still in that fight?
I got faith in him. I think Crawford could do it. You know what I'm saying? I think he could do it. Just like I said, just the size. The only shit that throws the fight off is the size and, you know, obviously the power. And Canelo's IQ too, because Canelo got IQ, you know what I'm saying? And Canelo fought a lot much bigger guys, you know? So I know the Crawford's power ain't gonna phase him. I know Crawford's size ain't gonna phase him either, you know what I'm saying? So, but for me, I think it's a 50-50 fight.
Gareth A. Davies and Duke McKenzie discussed how this fight stands out in modern boxing, where top-tier matchups are becoming rare. They agreed that a showdown between 2 of the sport's best is a breath of fresh air, exactly the kind of high-stakes clash fans want to see. These are the moments where legacies are built. They also highlighted why Terence Crawford has earned so much respect, his ability to adjust during a fight. Crawford is known for reading his opponents and changing tactics on the fly, which often allows him to take control and break down even highly skilled fighters. That adaptability will be crucial if he hopes to outsmart and outpace a seasoned champion like Canelo.
Really like, this is a huge fight that's coming up. I really like Terence Crawford. I think, you know, we were talking about coaches breaking down film. I think that Terence does a good job of that, breaking his opponent down in the fight. I think that he does a good job of adjusting. I do think that, you know, Canelo is a big feat ahead of him, because I also like Canelo. Like, it's kind of one of those things, like, who do I like more that night? It's going to be a really good fight. I like both of them. I think that, you know, that is something that I think women's boxing does a good job of, is putting on fights like that. Like, we'll fight whoever. So I think it's cool to see the men starting to do more of that, like it historically has always been.
Tim Tsayu shared an honest view of the fight's build-up and dynamics. He pointed out that while Canelo's fighting style can be somewhat predictable, it opens the door for a smart, strategic boxer like Crawford to find and exploit weaknesses. Tsayu also addressed the heated exchanges during press events, saying much of the trash talk is more about building hype than real animosity. Tsayu's confidence in Crawford reflects a belief that skill can outweigh size. And Crawford knows exactly what's on the line. He's acknowledged that this fight could define his legacy for decades. By stepping into the ring against such a powerful opponent, Crawford is aiming for greatness, fully aware that this moment could either elevate him to legendary status or deliver a major setback. The pressure is intense, and the stakes couldn't be higher.
What's made him this great? Do you think that this is a similar thing for your fight now at this point in your career, stepping up and facing someone like Canelo? Does this kind of make you unbeatable and this figure that will just go down in history?
I don't know. I don't know about comparing it to his situation, but it will be a situation where I'll be talked about for many decades to come, and definitely go down in the history books as one of the best fighters to ever lace up the gloves.
Terence Crawford has shown cautious confidence heading into the fight, saying he gives himself a 70% chance of winning. His estimate reflects a balanced mindset. He's aware of the challenge that comes with facing a bigger, more experienced opponent like Canelo, but he also trusts his preparation and skill set. It's a mix of self-belief and realism that shows he's not underestimating the task, yet remains confident in what he brings to the ring.
You're 100% certain you're going to win.
We never 100%.
What percentage are you?
70.
To say 70% chance, it just doesn't sound that confident. But I want to say this, though. He was being truthful. He knows how important this fight is. And it's that important because it is very difficult. So him saying this is difficult, and I'm giving myself a 70% chance, which is why I'm doing it. It is not because I'm bigger than him and this is easy and I'm stronger than him actually and people don't understand that I'm more skillful. No, he's a beast. And this has never been done. And this is not a sure thing. And that's why I'm so eager to do it. That's the definition of greatness. That's why he should be on a Mount Rushmore if he accomplishes it. That's why Terence Crawford is brave.
That wraps up today's video. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more updates. See you next time.